Greetings! It is time to make the sound, to summon the stream. Wow, 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 wow. Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Quill Quickcard, and audio's a little bit loud. We'll just... It's still a little loud. Let's turn that down a little bit more. Alright, I'm Quill Quickcard, and welcome back to the Community RPG Maker Project. If you are new here or you happen to come across this, I have been designing a game in RPG Maker for more than a year, streaming on every Sunday morning, and I take as many suggestions and ideas from the community as I can reasonably integrate into the project while still making it a cohesive whole. And we've come up with a really strange and interesting thing here. We are always happy to have new people contribute to the project. You can talk in the live chats. You can leave comments on any of the on any of the VODs, or you can come and join our Discord. There's a link down in the description. All right. Hello, Aubrey. Hello, Coles. Welcome to the stream. Let's get started. So, on today's agenda, I have just 3 things I want to work on. Before I get started, though, I was quite terse on the last stream. I was tired, I was sick, I was stressed, and I was not managing myself particularly well. And, yes, I do apologize for that. I was I was more aggressive than was appropriate. But also, I specifically do not apologize for timing out Cole whatsoever. Or, not Cole, for timing out Noob whatsoever. I want to make that distinction. Alright, anyway, let's get into this. So, today's goals. We are going to create the secret fishing island and tidal waves that bring you there and take you back. This is the last thing we're going to be adding for the fishing system as of right now. I have already added the special fishing conditions for getting axolotls, for catching undead fish, and for catching frozen fish in the swamp, the tundra, and Wallachia, respectively. The next thing we are going to do when we are done with that, and this shouldn't take too long, is we are finally going to be working on the docks. We're going to be creating the scenes where Katasby actually joins the party, and where you fight the bad guys at the docks in order to unlock that as a location where your boat can dock, and further actually advance the primary story. And then we are going to do some work on the Batfolk and Catfolk dialogue in order to better reflect the tensions. And honestly, the Pepsi drones probably should have their dialogue adjusted as well. So, let's get started. So, the way that this works, or the way this should work, is that if you are fishing on the beach, specifically this beach south of the tundra, this is where you go to the underwater tunnel that takes you to Wallachia, and there are 4 fishing points here. So the way this should work, if I've gotten everything good, is that if you are on this map and you roll the less than 7 to get a fish, then there is a 1 in 2 chance that you'll either get a regular fish Or it will give you the message, uh-oh, it feels like you snagged something a bit bigger than a fish. The screen fades out. There's a water sound effect. There's a short wait. And then it is going to transport you here to Fishing Island. Actually, we'll say that you wash up on the beach. You wash up on the beach of Fishing Island. Fishing Island is going to have fishing spots all around it. But these ones are actually going to be unique in that they will completely reset every time that you come to Fishing Island. And once you are done interacting with all of them, then it will tidal wave you back. So first, let's work on the fishing thing. What? Oh, okay, that's... when you interact with it, it summons the fishing event, and then it turns on its self switch and it erases itself. So we don't actually need it to turn on a self switch at all. And we don't need this entire second page because it doesn't have a randomized reset like every other fishing spot. Instead, after it runs the fishing event, it is going to take a variable fishing island count, and it is going to increase that variable by 1. And then it is going to run a check if the fishing island count... We'll just say it's 10. We'll say there's 10 fishing spots here. If the fishing island count is 10, then it will run these events to transfer you back to the beach. So just right there, I think that'll work. And then after it makes that transition, it is going to change the fishing island count back down to 0. And I think that's actually all I have to do to make this work. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Will the fishing island have better chance for rare fish? Probably eventually we will add some more stuff to the special fishing island. But we're not going to do that right now. For right now, we're just going to make the basic system work. And whoops. I was running the wrong tile set the entire time. So... If we go up a stage now... Okay. There we go. Okay. That works better. Okay. And now that Aubrey has suggested something, we can begin with today's other secret project. Let's see. We need an empty house. And let's see. Where do we go? Okay. Actually, not there. We're going to discard that. We are going to put this into Contributor Town. And... okay. We are going to have a bucket. And if you interact with this bucket, we'll say, as you peer into the water in the bucket, you have visions of yourself. You have visions of places and events that this game's creator had no time or interest in putting into this project. You see yourself throwing fish into an incinerator. There we go. So, we get a lot of ideas for this project that are... I don't want to say bad. In a vacuum, they are not bad ideas. The problem is that this project is more than a year in development. It has developed certain specific themes and direction, and it is no longer a vacuum. It is a place where many ideas simply are not going to contribute to advancing the project, and they would just create busy work to add things to it, which nobody who plays it would be particularly interested in doing, and which I, as the creator, am not particularly interested in adding. So this is the bucket where we are going to throw all of those ideas. When people throw out ideas that are interesting and valid, but just not quite right for the project, we will add them to the bucket of ideas. And this way we can continue to accumulate and represent people's contributions, and as time goes on, this will probably become a rather lengthy list of things that people end up suggesting. I suppose the meanest way to say it is that I have now created a thing where I can actively disregard anyone's suggestion while pretending like I am not actively disregarding anyone's suggestion. That would be the meanest way to say it, and yet not entirely inaccurate. Nope, we're not putting fish sprites in there. There are no visuals associated with the bucket whatsoever. It is pure text. It will only ever be text. Okay, so I think this works, but it is time for our first play test of the day. Let's go check this out. We're just going to do a little RP walking here. Okay. We want to make sure that getting to the island works and that getting back from the island works. Oh, okay. Ah, well, it helps if I add a fade in command. Fade in, which also means that all of these need a fade in command put on them as well. So we're just going to delete 9 of our fishing spots, and then we are going to put them back in. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, noob. You see yourself standing on a cliff, overlooking a vast and seemingly endless field of toothy, mouthed treasure chests. They gnash and growl and scamper about as you watch the endless horde of mimics. There. All future mimic representation is now done. Any future suggestions for mimics are now invalid. You see a vision of yourself fishing. Your rod suddenly tightens, and you pull in a treasure chest. There. All future suggestions of that are now invalid. We have solved the problem. All right. So let's go back to our test. Not fair. Tough. Caught an electric eel. Nope, missed that one. Fished up bottle caps. Bottle caps. Okay, let's keep going. Do the fishing spots respawn? Every time you enter a map where you have previously had fishing spots, each individual fishing spot has a roughly 1 in 8 chance of reappearing. Sort of. It interacts a little weirdly with itself, but it should be a roughly 1 in 8 chance for any individual fishing spot to respawn when you reload a map. Okay, here we go. We got the tidal wave. Alright, so here's the secret island. So each of these fishing spots should work like a normal fishing spot. And then after we have hit all 10 of them, it should take us back to shore. Flavor packet. £98 fish. Mantis shrimp. Flavor packet. £200 fish. That's the heaviest fish possible. That is awesome. Mantis shrimp. £192 fish. £173 fish. Bubbling water. Okay. So this time we're not going to catch a fish. Oh. Oh. Okay, hold on. Okay, those fishing spots do not automatically deactivate with time. That's a bug I need to fix, but the system to get there and back does seem to work. A fishing spot respawned like it's supposed to. That's perfect. So it does take a little time to sort of refresh the fishing, but the system works. The system does work. Okay, so this is interesting. We run the common event for fishing. Is this a problem with every fishing spot? Did I just make it so that they don't work properly? No. Okay, regular fishing spots do disappear. Okay. So... Oh, boy. Okay, so fishing spots don't like to deactivate themselves. It's because they're still in common event processing. Shit. Some of them do, though. Okay, so what confuses me is why is it inconsistent? That's interesting. Why would it be inconsistent? Okay, you run the common event for fishing. So... There it is. There it is. That's the problem. It is not resetting temp B, which is being used, which is being used in order to keep track of the number of frames you have to press it. That's why it's inconsistent. That's why it's resetting the first time, but not any of the other times. Got it. That was the problem right there. We should now see every fishing spot successfully reset. I thought it had to be a counter issue since it was resetting the first one, but not any of the additional ones. And God knows from the Gotcha project, I have seen probably every possible manner of count bugs at this point. That is interesting. Okay. And we make sure it works on these. When's the next Gotcha update? Soon. Like, it's coming this week. Okay. So this time, we are going to let all of the fishing spots fail. And it should still take us back to the shore when we are done. And then we will decorate the island a little bit and we'll be able to move on. After we update the bucket of ideas with even more suggestions that have been thrown out here recently. That's perfect! That's perfect! It worked exactly like it's intended. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. I am really happy about that. All right. So we are going to make the island... Whoops. We're going to make the island a little bit smaller. Yeah, I think that works. No, there will not be lava fishing. Or maybe there will eventually, but there isn't right now. Okay. Why? Because this is not a fishing game. There is already special fishing in the tundra. And this is why we are not going to keep focusing on fishing. Because this is now 2 streams in the row that we have basically just devolved into nothing but talking about fishing. This is why we can't keep focusing on that. Because it's just... It's too much for people to handle. There we go. Okay. So now it's fun. We have fishing. We have fishing. We have fishing. I have been actively testing fishing for a half hour. We have fishing. For a half hour, I've literally been building a new thing into the fishing. Oh my god. Okay. You see a vision of yourself fishing in lava pools. You catch a demonic monster fish. There. We now have lava fishing. Problem solved. Now, let's decorate this island a little bit. Let's see. I did add the vision. That was the vision. We have fishing now. It's good. It's great. It's a great mechanic. I mean, I guess we could throw a few rocks in here. Rocks are good. Okay. I think that works for Fishing Island. We can add some rocks in the water. Come on. Rocks in the water. Rocks in the water. Here we go. Rocks. Rocks in the water with stepping animations. Sure. I think that works. We put one here and here. All right, we're good. Fishing is done. Let's move on. This is where it is going to get quite a bit more involved today. Let's see. Chat, calm down. Everybody. Just everybody calm down. They're all moot points, so we don't need to worry about them. What we need to worry about now are the docks. Okay. So I did want to decorate the docks a little bit more. So at this point, we go to the Catfolk Village, and then the folks in the Catfolk Village are going to send us down to the docks to get catnip that the monsters stole. So at first there's going to be like some thugs standing here, and they're not going to let you go any further until you've triggered the event flag in the Catfolk Village, and then you'll encounter Catasby like here or something. There we go. Okay, so Thug is going to be standing here. Catasby is going to be standing there. Yes, we have a ship. We have had a ship for several weeks. In fact, we've had a ship since, like, we've had a ship for like 2 months, I think, or something like that. Maybe it's been just like a month and a half. But yeah, we have a ship. Okay, so this is going to be Catasby event. And he only shows up if dock event's active. You see a vision of yourself upon a grand ship. You locate the legendary treasure One Piece. It turns out to be about $117.18 in copper coins. There we go. You have a vision of yourself finding the One Piece, and it is very disappointing. Okay. So we do need sort of our various thugs. So we're going to have a series of fights here with Catasby. Someone's going to have to step out of the party. Someone should leave the party temporarily while we do this. Elena probably would be the best choice. So we're going to be interacting with Catasby from either here or here. So we can put Event Elena here. So she can walk into wherever the party is located, step out, and then step up here just temporarily in order to block any of the thugs from escaping. And then Catasby can take her place just temporarily. I think that works. We need to block the way. I kind of like the idea of just having goblins here. Like, we haven't really done much We haven't really done much with goblins. So I think goblins work. And yeah, I think that'll be fine. Okay. So we'll have the blocking thug there. We need. We need like a dock fighting. Okay, that's good. We have port. And we need a good bottom half for the port. That works. Okay, I like ship. Ship looks good there. I don't think we really have too many options when it comes to just like a wooden dock. Yeah, we're just gonna have to go with ship and port. That should be fine. Okay. And we're going to need music for it. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. So we're gonna run field 4. Sorry. There we go. Alright, we'll just let that play while we build this. So this guy is going to have different stuff when the docks are active. So when the docks are not active, he's going to say, how about, it's a bit unsafe at the moment. Lots of stuff getting moved around. Okay, I think that's fine. So, Katasby... he's going to be like... you have to let me through. And then the goblin is going to say... ain't happening. And Katasby will say... that's our catnip. You stole it. Give it back. And the monsters is gonna say... Nah. Does that fit within box? It does not fit within box. Okay, that's good. That's our catnip. You stole it. Give it back. Nah. So Katasby's having a bit of a freak out. And then dude's gonna be like... Nah, I'd win. And then he'll be like... He'll say, grr. He'll have... an exclamation. Katasby will turn off the direction fix and turn toward the player. You have to help. Okay. And for the player, we'll have a question mark. Is it possible to add a rare chance for Malta to say, don't worry, Katasby, I still have some catnip left over? Is it possible? Yes. Are we doing it? No. You have to help. You're strong, right? Kicked my ass up on the mountain. Sorry about that, by the way. You know how the drugs is like. Help me clear out these villains. They've captured a merchant vessel and are making off with all of the goods. Okay, that works. Now we'll have a line from Elena. We'll just say she's getting into it. The Fiends. Okay. And Katasby will be like, at least one of you seems to get it. Watch our backs so none of them escape. We'll take care. Watch our backs so none of them escape. We'll take care of the rest. Okay. It's been a while since we actually designed a scene like this. And by a while, I mean, I think 3 weeks, maybe 4. Okay. So Elena's gonna be like, got it. So at that point, we remove Elena from the party. And at the same time, event Elena moves toward the player, then changes her image to Elena, and then moves up, 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 and turns down, stepping on. And threw off. Okay. So I think that gets Elena into the party. Yeah, I think that works. So she's moving 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That should work. Okay. And let's see, how do I do this? Okay, Katasby turns down. And Katasby says, let's see. I can hold my own, so just back me up. Okay, and then we will go into a fight scene. For the time being, we'll have the battle processing be with, I don't know, which one of my troops just has 2 Cavelins in it? We'll just run the twin Cavelin. Cave 1. Okay. Can Catnip give Katasby a power boost if used? He already, as a skill, uses drugs in order to power himself up. So you can imagine those drugs are whatever you want. Okay. So, this is going to be a little special. This is going to be Doc's tutorial. Okay. So, on turn 0, we add the party member Katasby to the party with his initial set of conditions. Okay. And then, as soon as the battle is over, Katasby will leave the party. And then we'll have some test dialogue. Just to see how it looks visually. Let's go in and test all of this. Okay. Let's get back to where we were. Okay. Debug code 3 for a save. Oh, right. I can't actually enter the docs yet. That is a slight oversight. Okay. So we're going to copy that, paste it here, delete that, enter the docs. So Quell will nothing be of the shielded enemies. We could actually integrate that at this point. We definitely could integrate that. Let's just buff these guys up a little bit. Uh, 90, 80. So these are going to be the Goblin Pirates. They can be our introduction to shielded enemies as well as to Catasby. I think that's a pretty good idea, honestly. Okay. That works. All right, let's test this. Northern Island Dock. It's a bit unsafe at the moment. Lots of stuff getting moved around. Okay. That looks good. Now let's manually activate this. Okay. You have to let me through. Ain't happening. That's our catnip. You stole it. Give it back. Nah. I'll kill you. Nah, I'd win. Okay, you have to help. You're strong, right? Kicked my ass up on the mountain. Sorry about that, by the way. You know how the drugs is like. Help me clear out these villains. They've captured a merchant vessel and are making off with all the goods. The fiends, at least one of you seems to get it. Watch our backs so none of them escape. We'll take care of the rest. Got it. Okay. I can hold my own, so just back me up. Okay. Catasby joins the fight. Heavy Metal Bash is still a thing. Ooh, okay. You've got so many skills. Let's go for an Ice Storm. And Catasby with her hunting skills. Beast Bleed, Bird Blind, Vine Storm, Echolocate. Use the drugs. We'll go with Beast Bleed. Is Thatcher from Margaret Thatcher? Yes, it is. And is still broken like it should be. I don't even know if you're referring to the stream or Binding of Isaac anymore. Okay. Okay, that works perfect. That works perfect. So first we will gather followers. All of this is working. Referring to heavy metal bash. Yes, it very, very much is. Okay. So we're actually going to buff up their defenses rather considerably. We're going to really increase their HP. Really increase their attack power. And then we need the shield condition. Okay. So this is going to be shield. When they take damage, it's removed 100% of the time. It vastly increases their defenses. It doesn't have any auto removal timing. Okay. Is shielded. Is protected by a... is shielded. We'll just say shielded. So when it breaks, we will say the monster's shield was broken. Okay. And then we will need a monster skill that applies that state. Where's a good, like, self-buff skill that we can make use of here? Regenerate, that's a good one. Okay, message. Is guarding with its shield. It's a certain hit. Uses the shield animation. Doesn't do any of that. Mostly it just applies the shield. User battle. Okay. There we go. All right. So then these enemies on turn 1 are going to use shield with a priority of 9, so that they're guaranteed to do it. So this should be our first look at enemies using the shield mechanic. Okay, perfect. No. That really did not seem... No, okay, we need this to be way higher. We're going to buff the defense under the shield effect to absolutely insane levels, 8 times the normal defense rates. Okay. So after that battle is done, we will run the switch Docks Phase 1. To activate Docks Phase 1. And while Docks Phase 1 is active, this guy disappears. That should be fine. When Docks Phase 1 are active, we can't actually leave. So we're going to have Docks Phase 2, Docks Phase 3, and then we're going to have docks over. So when the docks are over, you're just able to pass. But if you try to move through these spaces while the dock events are active, Elena will say, we can't leave until we have dealt with these cowardly cretins. Just make it withstand more than just one hit. The problem is, I can't guarantee a certain number of hits before it falls off. Like, the most I can do is make it remove by damage, but reduce the percentage chance of it falling off. That's all I can really do. And I don't really know a better way to approach that. I mean, I could just make it 50-50. Alright, let's take a look. You can turn off remove by damage and just make it remove at the end of the battle. But the thing is, I want it to be removed in battle. The idea is that it's a shield. It's being, like, held up to brace against an attack. And then you're attacking it, and you're basically breaking that stance and rendering them vulnerable. That's the basic idea. So, I do want it to be removed on damage. Oh, whoops. Not docks over. We want docks active. Here we go. Okay. So, Elena takes off. We fight. So, they guard. Let's see how much Heavy Metal Bash actually hits for while the shield is up. Okay, that... Oh, right, it ignores defense. Yeah, it specifically ignores defense. Let's try Double Claw. The first one should be heavily reduced, and the second should work. Yeah, that crowbar is insane. Are we able to hurt them at all? Because I think they have to actually take damage in order for the shield to be removed. So, I think this actually works pretty well. Because we have to hit them with something that's overwhelmingly powerful to break the shield. something like Heavy Metal Bash. Or something like Bottle Cap Rain. We're going to throw, let's say, 100 bottle caps. Okay. Okay, this is actually fine. This is actually okay. I actually think this is great, because we did need, like, something else that Katasby could do. So we can give Katasby a move that completely... that does, like, guaranteed damage. The unshielded guy didn't even take damage. Yeah, from 100... I'm not terribly surprised, but you actually do raise a good point. It should have been fine. We were just running, we were just throwing so few bottle caps that it couldn't get past the defenses. So that was okay. Okay, so I think this works. We're gonna raise the shield up once again to 100% removal by damage. Let's try it at 600%. I don't know how high we need to get it before we're just able to pierce through with our strongest attacks. Okay. Will it break if they take chip damage? No. Okay, it won't break on chip damage. Okay. I think that actually works pretty well. Low kick maybe could clear the buffs and inflict effect with the jagged lines. I think we actually have something useful here. I did want to have a move for Katasby called Go for the Eyes, but I didn't really know what our overall plan with him was. But I think this is actually really going to work. Okay. We have Beast Bleed, Bird Blind. Why don't we just call it Precise Strike? And it's not especially strong, but it does ignore defenses. And it's going to be Pepsi damage. It's very variable. It can't crit. We'll say that it's a certain hint. We'll say targets a weak point. At this point, Katasby's attack is 100. So this is not really a strong move. So we can definitely make it cheaper than the others. Nah. Okay, that I kind of like. Precise strike. Attack the enemy while ignoring their defenses. Perfect for breaking through shields. Okay. I think that works. So we will say that Katasby starts with this skill, the Precise Strike. So that should completely ignore defenses and should allow me to break shields effortlessly. So this would sort of be like a new mechanic that we are introducing. Precise Strike. Perfect. Okay. All right, that works. That works really well. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then as the game progresses and character stats go up, these lower level enemies that do use shields will be easier to fight against because you'll actually have enough power to break through them on your own. So to make sure of that, we're just going to make shield be a quadruple. And not to mention, if the player has gotten Cole's Crowbar and has Heavy Metal Bash, they have access to another thing that can break through this as well. Ignoring defenses and stunning them. So the Heavy Metal Bash also specifically says that it ignores defense, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. Yes. Okay. I think that's good. So we just want to change the graphic for Precise Strike. Let's change that to, I don't know, this one. Ice damage calls the cold is my thing. Yeah, it all works. We can share the cold. Okay. So another thing that is important about... No, actually, I think the shield works okay. The body slam is fine. let's give it at least one other move. Yes, okay. I think that's good enough. Okay. And now the actual tutorial for the docks. Katasby joins the party. And then he will have some dialogue. These guys have pretty strong shields. You've got to break those first before we can defeat them. My precise strike can ignore any defense and break those things easily. Okay. I think that is good enough. And now we need the way to exit the docks. Perfect. That is easy enough. Are there any special things that I need? Any screen tinting or... okay, I do need the rain deactivation switch here at the docks. Perfect. Alright, let's test this. So this guy doesn't do anything. Perfect. And then dock events are active. Katasby is here. And so Elena heads out to fight. I can hold my own, so just back me up. Goblin pirates. These guys have pretty strong shields. You've got to break those first before we can defeat them. My precise strike can ignore any defense and break those things easily. So Malter does nothing. We are going to see if we have any moves that are strong enough to actually break through these shields. No. My ass has been melting in Texas since I was born, which was 3 years before you were born. Aw, man, I hate word problems. Let's try the Elegy of Death. Okay, Elegy of Death doesn't work either. I'm pretty sure with enough bottle caps, though, you can also break through. So let's try, say, 1,000 bottle caps. See, that is actually perfect. Okay. So Malter can break through defenses with bottle cap rain if they're high enough. Katasby can break through defenses with precise strike. And anybody who's using the crowbar can break through the defenses. So we have 3 different ways that our team can handle dealing with shields. So that's good. We have options. Katasby's going to use the drugs. Heavy Metal Bash is still absolutely broken. We're going to try our Fire Breath. Katasby's attack is not that big. I really thought he would be hitting for more than that. Interesting. I think the big advantage of Katasby might have just been that he becomes immune to debuffs. Well, can you see I really like RPG combat, so most of my suggestions usually go toward that? Oh yeah, I can tell. Okay, so these goblin pirates are no joke. And then we have a test. We can't leave. We can't leave. We can't leave. We can't leave. Okay, that's fine. This one... These all need to be set as... same as characters, so that they can actually block us. Otherwise, Elena still has... collision? Because her priority is still set below players. So that's fine. That all works. I like that a lot. Okay. So Katasby is going to be like... Katasby's like, woo, not bad. This is going to be a piece of cake. And before he says that, he is going to face the player. And he's going to get the balloon icon, this time with the musical note, over Katasby. And he'll just say, let's mop up the rest. So at this point, Katasby has through on, move toward the player, and then becomes invisible. And we add the party member Katasby. And Katasby has joined your party. World building is fun, but you know what's more fun? Thinking up with a boss's gimmick, programming it flawlessly, and having it be a fun fight. That is always fun. I love so many individual elements of this kind of stuff. It's so enjoyable. It really, really is enjoyable to me. I love coming up with boss fights. I love designing maps. I love coming up with narratives. I love getting caught into, like, all the event process. Ugh. Ugh. Into all the event processing and the logic. Um, I think it works really well. Um, okay. So um so we need some regular docking counters with just one pirate. And we're going to have a few goblins walking around. You run into them. It starts the docks fight. These ones you can run away from. If you win, then it turns on the self switch. Self switch, they disappear. Elena can move a little bit faster when she walks. Okay. So I think that's fine. We can all fight some of the goblins if we want. We can put some more stuff down on the docks, like here and here. So you'd have to go this way around. Okay. Sure, just like that. So you don't have to fight all the goblins. Um, I do want to have like a boss fight. So if you want, you can skip all of these goblins. So if we put the boss here. So as long as we put the boss below this line, we can't see anything above that line. So we can have some more goblins here, but any ones that we place below this point, I'm going to have to label them separately so that they can run away when the boss is beaten. Okay, that shouldn't be a problem. This one's going to be Goblin 1. I agree. We need like a big fat ogre or something to be the boss. This is going to be Goblin 2. And then this is going to be Goblin 3. Okay. And then we need like a big scary guy here. A more big, more scary monster here. This might work. Fat Goblin Ogre, those are very similar. Well, there is a there is a particular yeah, like what about something like this? Or I could even go with like a Minotaur. But I kind of like this guy. Okay. We need a name. This is going to be Captain Who. What do we call this guy? Ugh. This guy also needs to Captain Klobba. I actually really like Captain Klobba. Captain Klobba. So we do need to take the 25% Pepsi damage and set that here. And then he also needs to only take damage from the weakest version of Frostburn. So we'll make him immune to Frostburn normal and strong. First mate Goldback. I don't know if I can fit another guy on here when the ogre is in the way. No, I suppose I can. Okay. Alright, so it's going to be Captain Klobba and first mate Goldback. Those are going to be the enemies. And surely I can find... The first mate is the one he spawns. I do kind of like that. And by kind of, I mean I like that a lot. It does need to be something small so it'll still fit. Oh. Ooh, what about this one? That thing's actually kind of creepy. Okay. I kind of like him. So we have Captain Klobba. And first mate Goldback. Let's see how this looks. Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, so Captain Klobba, or so first mate Goldback will appear in the middle of the battle. We're going to save working on like their actual mechanics and abilities and adjusting their stats for the next stream. Perfect song for Battle on the Sea against pirates. Do now. I don't think I have a really good overworld for this. Uh... No, I really don't have a good overworld for this. Let's see. No. None of that really works good. Okay. I'll check that in just a second here. Okay. So, I think I like this one. We're just going to have to adjust this guy to be purple instead. Okay, I think that works. The overworld sprite is not adjustable within the RPG Maker engine, but I can always adjust the chroma using my image manipulation software. Okay. Let's see. What did you send me? Oh. That's an ad. Shut up, Duolingo. Shut up, Audible. Okay. I like it. I think that is an excellent piece. Okay. So I will acquire that before the next stream, and we will utilize it as the music for this boss fight. Okay. I think that's enough work on the docks for today. Yeah, I think that's fine. We definitely did work on the Catasby dock scene. So the next thing that I really want to do is I want to adjust some of the dialogue just to fit with the general theme, to try and push the idea that like the cat folk and the bat folk, they used to get along, they're not getting along now, something's happened between them. I changed all of the interior NPCs to a different color roof tile, just so I could see them. We will change these back before we are completely finished with this zone, but it's just going to make this easier. So that's the innkeeper. That's fine. This guy sells some stuff. That's fine. All kinds of materials you can collect from defeating monsters. That's fine. The weapons and armor of the bat folk are second to none. You'd better stock up now. Who knows when the cats might move against us. Okay. This one, after all the flooding, it's much harder to get to Pepsi Land than it used to be until new bridges can be built over the swamp. Alright, this guy tells you about the hook shot, so he's good. They are good. Yeah, the bat folk are the physical ones. Okay. I would appreciate if you limit your time here. All is not well in the marshlands. The cat and bat folk used to get along quite well. But recently, relations have soured. These lands are on the brink of war. We're just trying to pass through to reach Pepsi Land. Looking for a hook shot. Please be on your way. If you do not intend to aid us against the catfolk, you have no purpose here. Okay. So this guy can talk a little bit more about it. Whoops, nope, we're going to cancel that. Okay. The catfolk trespass further and further into our lands. This disrespect cannot be tolerated. Okay. And then we get the outside NPCs. One of the NPCs named Bruce or Batman. No. The very obvious mimic. What on earth are you doing here? Best of luck to you. I'll be heading back to the village soon. What? Okay, no, you shouldn't be there. Okay, so that is some dialogue changes here. Up on the mountain, stay back. It's one of those damn catfolk. He's been in the catnip by the looks of it. Look out, those catfolk get real nasty when they've been into the drugs. Okay. That's fine. So now we need more stuff in the catfolk village. So this is the witch who teaches you the Chaos Bolt spell. We didn't give any dialogue to you yet. Please do not disturb my little babies. I have to keep a careful watch Or one of those damned bats might snatch them up. That's fine. We didn't actually add a lot of dialogue to these guys yet. This is the guy who wants the axolotls, woman by the rock. You are running Catfolk 6. No, Catfolk 5. I don't know how things got so bad so quickly between the bat folk and us. It used to be so peaceful. There were even a few marriages, like between Katasby's parents. Okay, that's fine. You are going to say what exactly? It's all those damn bats' faults. Bats' faults. They think they own the entire jungle. Well, they'll get what they deserve. Okay? This one we are going to save for next time. So next stream we want to add the Catfolk Shaman dialogue to lead you to and activate the docks. Katasby's parents are dead. I don't want to deal with them. Katasby is a traditional RPG protagonist, so their parents 100% dead. On the next stream, we'll add the shaman dialogue. We will do the goblin pirate boss mechanics music. Mechanics music and triggers. In between streams, add the bestiary unlocks to Act 3 troops. That's something I need to do. Download the music for the goblin boss fight. That's going to be important. This is probably enough to take up the entire next stream, if we're being honest. And then this guy, this great arena this this great arena is usually for holding battles and duels. Unfortunately, with things so chaotic in the jungle lately, we have had to... what's the word? We have had to put the events on hold for now. Okay, that's good enough. All right, and with that, I think we're going to be done for today. This ain't a swamp. It's marshland, swamp, and jungle. It's all of these things. Ugh. Ugh. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. It's been a little less than 2 hours, but I've accomplished everything that I wanted to get done today. We added new fishing stuff, which is great. We've got the bucket of ideas so that we can continuously capture all the ideas that we really can't integrate, but are not inherently, unfeasible. We've got the event at the dock set up. We've actually got the event of Katasby joining the party. We have added the shield mechanic for bosses, and we've made sure that there are multiple ways to bypass it. And we adjusted some of our dialogue to more accurately reflect the kind of political tensions that are going on in the swamps. So I think this is a major success. Yeah, I think that's great. Be here again next week for another RPG Maker stream. Saturday next week for more Alpha Sapphire Nuzlocke. The current daily series on the channel is Pokemon Too Many Types 2, which is being interspersed with some plays of Jurassic Park for the Super Nintendo. One of the only, possibly the only Super Nintendo game I owned as a kid, but never actually beat. So I'm real excited about that. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be playing after those, but we've got a week to figure it out, week or more, so shouldn't be a big problem. Thank you all so much for being here. As always, I really appreciate it. I really do appreciate all the ideas and all the suggestions that are being brought to the project. I love being able to add new and unique things to this. And I will see you all on the next one. It is time to make the sound to summon the end of the stream. Wow, 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 wow.